Hey you guys, I'm sorry I'm not here today, but I can still give you your notes. These are the second half of the notes that we started the other day. It was 11.1, 11.2, and 11.3. So what we're going to do now is we're going to start at 11.3. So we skipped a whole bunch of stuff and go to 11.3. We're going to be talking about some exceptions to Mendels rules. Mendels rules, or Mendelian genetics, is simply if you look at the genes that there is one allele from a mom and one allele from your dad, and it's either dominant or it's recessive, and then the dominant is going to be expressed. But sometimes it's just a little bit more complicated than that. Some traits are controlled by more than just one gene, and sometimes more than one trait or more than one gene is dominant. So if we go on to the next page, let me switch this up here. One exception to Mendels rules is incomplete dominance. Some alleles are neither recessive or dominant. So it will incompletely dominate over the other. So if red is incompletely dominant over white, it's going to show some dominance, but not completely. And so when you have an instance of incomplete dominance, you'll see here that the pink is a result. So if you have red and red incompletely dominates over white, then here you have incomplete dominance results in a pink flower. So if you were to do a cross, you would have big R, and then we use the W to make it easier to wrap our heads around this, and you'd see RW, 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 RW. RW, red and white, would be pink. So this is incomplete dominance when two combined to result in a trait. Let's see if we go on to the next. Codominance is a second exception to Mendels rules. And so here you can see both the red and the white are dominant and therefore are being expressed. And when we have codominance, we're going to set up a Punnett square, just like this. Here we go. And so if we have R and W, we would have RW, 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 RW. And so this right here is red and white speckled because both are dominant and therefore both are expressed. All right. Polygenic traits are traits that are controlled by more than one gene, which is actually pretty true for most genes. So if polygenic traits are going to be traits that happen along a spectrum. So here, let's say that this is short and this is tall. You're not either short or tall. You're somewhere here or here or here or here or here because this trait is controlled by many genes and that interplay, and so it results in something along a spectrum. It's not just a short gene or a tall gene. The same is true for, like, let's say skin color. It's along a spectrum. You don't just have light skin or dark skin. It's going to be somewhere in the middle. Finally, environmental conditions can affect gene expression. So we've talked about how some sets of twins have the exact same DNA, but they are different, right? There are differences in their phenotypes or how their traits that are expressed, and that has to do with the fact that they were exposed to different environmental conditions. So some genes were turned on and some genes were turned off, and so therefore it's not just as easy as a dominant and a recessive allele for every trait. However, it is a good way to start learning, which is what we've done. And I will, these are the notes, and I'll see you guys in next class.